Cheshire's Silk 106.9.
Hello, how you doing? I am joined on the video Zoom call today for this chit chat from a bunch of local people from Knutsford. I believe you're all from Knutsford, is that right?
That's right, I am indeed. Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Brilliant. So we've got Sarah and we've got Dee and David Griffiths as well. So Sarah, first of all, can I come to you first? A little bit about who you are and what you do in Knutsford.
Sure. Well, one of the things I do in Knutsford is I set up and run a community volunteering group called the Knutsford Hosts. And it's quite unique. We're a bank of community volunteers and we support all sorts of different events and initiatives and volunteering projects. At the moment, we're heavily involved with the COVID vaccination programme. We're doing the less glamorous job of car park marshalling, but it's vital to make sure people get in and out quickly. And we're also involved in anything to do with the local economy, which is where Adopt a Knutsford Shop comes in.
So Adopt a Shop, how does that work? I mean, I'm thinking you take ownership or part ownership of a shop? Well, how does it work?
Not quite. I heard about this through my Irish relatives with the surname like Flannery. You won't be surprised at that. And it's a scheme that started in Dublin, and it was somebody who thought how diminished his life would be if some shops folded. And he decided to make a conscious effort to adopt 3 of them and to really try and promote them by buying from them online and spreading the word about them and encouraging his friends and family to do the same. And Knutsford is the perfect sort of town to run this type of scheme. A lot of independent shops and hospitality businesses, a great deal of goodwill. And the nice thing about it is that it's kind of opened up an online dialogue, because for many people, it's a lifeline for shops to know that they've got this level of support and they can actually start to relate more easily with their customer base when they know that they're promoting them. So it's really become very successful.
Sarah, I just want to sing more praises of Knutsford Town Centre, actually, because where I live in Stoke-on-Trent, there's a big shopping centre where everybody goes to get everything they want. I miss the old school. You go to a butcher's for that, you go to a clothes shop for that, and you literally go to the local traders, not the big high street names. And you've got that in Knutsford, and I love the idea of literally going down a high street.
Yeah, and it's a great blend of both, because of course you've got some larger names as well, but that's important to have that level, that mix. And the one thing about Knutsford is it's got amazing heritage and culture and architecture, so it's really quirky. It's a very picturesque town, so there's always somewhere nice to stop for a coffee in normal times and that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's a huge amount. I mean, a lot of people will relate Knutsford to Elizabeth Gaskell, who's actually buried in the town because she based her novel Cranford on Knutsford. She used to live there when she was a child.
And my boss comes from Knutsford as well, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice place.
Let's go to Dee. Dee, how are you, Dee? You're right, and David as well.
Fine, thanks.
Okay, so what do you own a shop then, a business in Knutsford?
No. We just go shopping an awful lot, and we support them so much.
Only once a day, though.
Once a day for our exercise. But what we found is we're barely using the car right now, because we can get everything that we need just up the road, and we just walk up King Street and then up past the Ginnells and everywhere else. There's so many different hidden parts of Knutsford to explore. We walk about, and if we can't go to the shops now, the click and collect is working everywhere.
Exactly.
So have you heard about the Adopt a Shop scheme then, have you, Dee?
Only through Sarah Flannery. I'm one of the Knutsford Hosts, as is David. And Sarah said, if we all adopt a shop, we'll be keeping those happy shopkeepers afloat. And it's so much better to have a friendly face when you go to collect something. And they're so appreciative. And somebody saying, oh, how are you? Are you coping okay? Rather than just collecting from somewhere else.
And I think it's fair to say, Dee, so many of them work really hard to get things in that people want, or to go the extra mile in terms of doorstep deliveries and everything. It's been really heartening, hasn't it?
Oh gosh, yes. And when people come down, they put a place to a face, really. Oh, that's where you live. I didn't know you were so close to town. It's just lovely. You get to know the shopkeepers a bit more.
You have some
So-
banter. It's nice, and you're having some banter with some shopkeepers, as well as you become sort of semi-friends with them. Well, and I can assure you the shop I'm adopted, our local station garage, has been absolutely no problem with the tyre or brakes. They're very, very accommodating, and they'll help you out straight away. So I think it's invaluable. Personally, it's invaluable to support your local shops.
And they know you by name.
Of course, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
see, it's me in the pub when the pubs were open, of course.
And that matters, doesn't it? You know, every time.
It does. And I think it's made people, because so many people, as you say, Dee, have not gone out in the car as much, you'd be much more inclined to support local shops. And when you look around and you see that, you know, like Debenhams is yet another big name that's gone, you know, we need to do something. And I think this is one way of trying to influence the type of high street that we want to see more of.
So, Dee, can you just give a few shop name checks then to your adopt a shop angle then, please?
My shops.
Yeah.
Well, I've put this out to some people on Facebook, asking them to guess my 3 shops. Sandra tried, but she got one wrong. She did get one right anyway. My 3 shops are Clarity, which is a lady called Tara, the bottom of King Street, right by the railway bridge. And I'm wearing her jewellery to show it off because it's just so unusual, so modern, and so reasonable for something handcrafted. And she also carries other jewelers besides herself. I buy all my gifts there. So that's Clarity is my first one. The second one has kept me going during lockdown, the Knutsford Art Shop and Stationery Store up on Princess Street near the Butchers. I've been painting a lot. Everybody's picked up new hobbies during lockdown. I've been painting for a little while, but I've never painted so much in my life. So I'm running out of all these beautiful colors. And if they don't have it, they get it within 2 or 3 days. And you just knock on the door and they pass it over to you. You do your card, you know, and you don't even have to. But then they're going, oh, what you doing now? And it's just nice to see them. And the third shop, of course, is Cheshire Quality. They've been winning awards, a brand new shop on the High Street, down on King Street. And that's John Paul, and he does hampers for people. And of course, I've chosen him because he stocks my children's books. Leo's Ladder. There's my plug.
That's fair enough. You deserve plugging it because that's got lots of references to Knutsford in it.
It's exactly what we're talking about. You know, if you look at the book, you will see, and this is not a plug now, but the places in the book are just so Knutsford, and they're not named in the shop. You know, there's Mr. Sims and there's the Lost and Found, but you'll just see places you know.
I know. And some of that history that we were talking about, you know, we like Alan Turing's trial took place in Knutsford. You know, there's some really fascinating links, and hopefully when all this is over, people will be much more encouraged to look around at what's on their doorstep and support it. And I'm just going to show you that. You might have heard that little crash noise because this is Knutsford Hosts, and I think this is the perfect sort of scheme for us to support because, you know, it's all about community and rediscovering who your neighbours are as well, and doing what you can to play your part in those sort of connections and networks. And you know, David and Dee have been brilliant. You've been volunteering for the COVID vaccination program as well, haven't you? Yeah,
well done.
Which has been an amazing team effort. We've had 50 hosts supporting Knutsford Rotary, and it's that sort of collaboration that works, and hopefully it'll make a difference if we all choose. This is really about conscious shopping, I think, and deciding consciously where these smaller businesses are the ones that really will disproportionately see that support. I mean, for example, if you're going out for a walk, and who isn't, and you're on the mall, it's so easy to go to Tatton Perk for a nice coffee, isn't it? And these are sort of things that really add to the day, I think. Although technically, isn't a coffee now called a picnic?
Work meeting, yes.
If you have a Scotch egg, it's a substantial meal as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, as long as it's with salad. Yeah, so who knew these things? I know. But it's great to see, and it's lovely to be able to talk about some of these shops, like listening to you talk about the art shop, you know, and a lot of people just might not associate it, but there's a whole wealth of different things. I mean, if even in the market hall, there's the cafe, and there's the fruit and veg, Jonty's Fruit and Veg, and there's the butchers, and it's amazing how much you can get plastic weigh and save. So many products. If people shop more carefully, it's great.
Well, I was going to mention the indoor market, Knutsford Indoor Market, because I go there regularly, and I'm a big fan of the cafe there that you've already said. And
Yeah.
they always look after me because I work at Silk Radio, because they have us playing in there, you see, all the time. So every time I go in, he's like, "Oh, do you want a brew? Yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. Thank you very much." And then a little cake as well. It's lovely.
Oh yeah.
Well, listen, team, thank you very, very much for all the detail on Adopt a Shop. Where can people, Sarah, find out more about Adopt a Shop and what is actually open and what people can do?
Okay, well, we're calling it Adopt a Knutsford Shop, so that's the hashtag. They can get in touch. That all the details are on the Knutsford Town Council's website, and there's a listing of all of the retailers. And it's very broad, you know, so it's really anyone who has an interest in living, working and shopping in Knutsford. They can feel free to tell everybody about their choices, and it's kind of an ethical stance to consumerism, isn't it? I think it's something we should all support, and it can work well. Like I say, this started in Dublin, it can work well anywhere. And it's very much about reclaiming your high street and supporting those fantastic retailers and independent businesses, hair salons, nail salons, you know, all of them. We want them to still be in business when we're all able to go back and frequent them properly.
Dean David, did you want to add something to that?
No, I'm just saying that we are so fortunate that we're where we live, and we just need to support the local business, and it's not more expensive. You know, and you don't have to go out in a car. My car's not moved for 2 weeks, which is brilliant. You know, and you don't have to we can actually walk, use your feet. You know, and we're so fortunate. If you look at other countries where you're having to get in a car and go out to an outside shop in the middle of nowhere, it's soulless. And we fortunately have got soul in Knutsford, which is where you feel sometimes you just have to realise how fortunate we are. Yeah, and we have to get through this together.
I'm using my car so little that it had a low battery last week, and I had to take it out on the motorway. Says something.
Yeah, brilliant. And also for people who are that way inclined, by the way, they can actually go celebrity spotting in Knutsford. I've done that a few times.
Have you seen anyone?
I thought I saw somebody from Corrie, but I didn't want to run after them and go, "Are you from Corrie?" But I didn't do that. I refrained.
Can I tell you, when we were doing the volunteering in the car park, I was watching the people come in and telling them which way to go. I was stood there on the street, and there were some very glamorous older people. And afterwards, somebody said there was a woman from Corrie there.
Wow.
Yes. I don't remember her name because I don't watch it, but she had beautiful hair, and I thought, oh, that's nice.
It may have been Rita Sullivan then.
Yeah, probably.
Was her name Barbara Knox? I think her real name is.
That's it. Yes. One, yeah. Somebody said, "Did you see Barbara Knox?" And I have to say, I saw a glamorous woman, but I wasn't sure who she was.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for all of the detail about Knutsford and Knutsford, Adopt a Knutsford Shop, guys.
Thank you very much indeed, Darren. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice bye-bye.
Thank
you. Hope to see you soon. Bye, Sarah.
Bye. Thank you.
Your station, Cheshire